Hey, welcome back to The World According to Briggs, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time here. My name is Briggs and I've been lost in the woods before. More than once. Really. The good news is these wouldn't be considered haunted woods. And I was only lost for a couple hours, so all's good. Today's list is about haunted forests. I did a Mysterious Places video last week, and while I was doing the research for it, I found one of the most haunted things on the planet seem to be forests. Every country that has a forest has a haunted forest, it seems like. Some of them are downright spooky, like eyes wide open, dry mouth, a quiver in your voice while you tell your high school girlfriend to get dressed, we'll try another wooded area. Some people actually seek out haunted forests. They want to go in, they want to research them, they want to experience them, they want to see what's going on here. I guess they just need to. Most of us don't need to. If you're one of those people that doesn't feel the need to go into the woods and find some scary stories or research some legends, this video's for you. We're going to explore these haunted forests from the relative safety of the internet. Alright, let's check them out. Number 10. The Devil's Tramping Ground, North Carolina. Deep in the woods near the town of Harper's Crossroad, North Carolina, there's a mysterious 40-foot ring where it is rumored a demon or the devil stomps in a circle as he thinks up new ways to destroy humanity. Legend has it this is where he invented student loan death and boy bands. So what's odd about this place, besides all the legends and all the scary stories, is nothing grows here. It's a circle in the middle of the woods that's barren. Everything around the circle grows just fine, just not in this circle. Even the North Carolina State Department of Agriculture has supposedly taken soil samples and has yet to come up with any explanation to why this patch is devoid of growth. Late at night, people have reported hearing a man laugh, like really loud, in the middle of the forest. Number 9. Doll Island, Mexico. There's an island near Mexico City that has around 1,000 dolls hanging from trees. Saying this is a little creepy is a serious understatement. The island's only resident, back in the day, Don Julian Santana, discovered the body of a young girl in one of the canals near the island over 50 years ago. A couple days after finding the girl's body, he found a doll floating in the same spot. So he hung up the doll on a tree for some reason. Over the years, whenever he would find a doll, he would bring it back to the island and hang it up in one of the trees, in whatever condition he found it. Missing an arm, missing legs, eyes, whatever. This, of course, makes the whole thing extra crazy looking. He was doing this because he thought it would protect him from the spirit of the little girl that remained on the island. Santana strung up about 1,000 dolls until his death in 2001. He drowned in the very same canal. Now, some say that's untrue, that he died of a heart attack. I don't know. I wasn't there when he kicked the oxygen habit. Now, you're probably wondering where this is. It's south of the center of Mexico City, in farmland with some canals in it. The Aztecs actually built the canals. But in the canals, they have these brightly colored canal boats, sort of like Venice, Italy's boats, for the canals. These just look more like the Partridge Family bought a boat, some mushrooms, and started painting. It takes about 4 hours round trip. If it's less than that, they've taken you to a fake island about 30 minutes away. The real island has a bamboo fence around it, and you could barely see what's going on. You can see some of the dolls, but not many. So if there's no bamboo fence, and it's less than 2 hours away, you're at the wrong one. Number 8. Dow Hill, India. The Victorian boys' school, established in the late 19th century in West Bengal, is rumored to be haunted. Students report phantom footsteps echoing in the corridors and the sound of people whispering right behind them. They turn around, nobody's there. The surrounding Dow Hill forest is even thicker with paranormal activity. Woodsmen have said that they've seen a headless boy wandering among the trees. This one has been reported many times over the year. They say the boy doesn't look like a ghost. They say he looks like a real boy. I mean, minus the head. I wonder if it's hard navigating the forest without a head. Running into trees must be an everyday thing for this kid. The good news is he doesn't have to worry about concussions, I guess. Some visitors have even seen red eyes peering at them through the woods. And also, there's been reports of a ghost woman dressed all in gray that just stares at you and points. They say there's something in the air that makes unfortunate visitors either lose their mental balance and even dying. Number 7. Freetown Fall River State Forest, Massachusetts. This forest is part of what they call the Bridgewater Triangle. It's about a 200 square mile area in Massachusetts that has all kinds of paranormal activity. The Native Americans who occupied this area before, in 1600s they sold it reluctantly, left behind some burial grounds. This is apparently part of what's wrong with this place, most people think. Since the 1900s, they've found more than a few bodies in the woods here, including a young girl in 1978 that was tied to a tree and left for dead. She did die. The good news is the killer was caught caught, convicted, and eventually died in prison. Many people believe the forest exerts a dark influence that drives people to do bad things and even commit suicide. Then, of course, it is believed that the site was used for satanic murders in the 1970s and 80s. That's one's pretty dark. I'm not even going to get into that one. The fun doesn't stop there. They had reports of UFOs, poltergeists, fireballs, and most upsetting were the reports of an escaped emu wandering the forest in 2006. Even President Reagan said he had seen things in these woods. Number 6. Randolph Forest, near Randolph, Maine. Randolph, Maine is one of the smaller towns in the state with a river to the west and forest pretty much in all other directions. And it has a reputation for being haunted. Floating orbs, dark shadows, and screams of, "Get out!" are just some of the hauntings that happen in the Randolph Forest. Many of these eerie stories take place on the town's old narrow-gauge volunteer trail, known as the most haunted hike in Maine. The most well-known spirit here is known as Bicycle Larry. He was a beloved local who went missing, bike and all. Lawrence Bicycle Larry Farrell disappeared in fall of 2004. In the winter, Norris Perry died by suicide after leaving a voice message with his sister saying that he had killed Farrell and that the body could be found in the brook behind the home they shared. Investigators searched for months but never found any trace of Larry, his bicycle, or even any evidence that there was a murder. Nobody knows for sure what happened to him, but the locals will tell you he was murdered by Norris Perry. Number 5. Old House Woods, Virginia. This small forest near the Chesapeake Bay is a hotspot for ghosts from the 18th century. Redcoats and pirates who died in nearby port town of Matthews haunt these woods. People are said to have seen a ghostly ship glide off the Chesapeake Bay, sometimes hovering over the woods like a scene from a Peter Pan movie. Remember they had that flying ship? Anyway, this ship hovers over the woods and men aboard climb down on rope ladders. Other stories tell of ghost pirates burying treasure in the woods or men digging in the dirt. Most of the stories and sightings have to do with guys hiding and looking for gold. I guess these guys didn't get that memo. You can't take it with you either. It's called the Old House Woods because there was actually an abandoned home here before. It was called the Franny Night House. It was in the middle of the woods, and even back then it was known to be haunted. In fact, local stories say the house set itself on fire one time, only to put itself out again on its own. Eventually, the house caught fire again and burned to the ground, and that was that. They have countless stories and strange happenings around the Old House Woods. Maybe it really is haunted. What do you think? Do you think it is? Let me know in the comment section below. Number 4. During Woods, Smarton, England. The During Woods are known as the Screaming Woods, or those woods that Girl Scouts refuse to go to. That's what they should be called. This place is spooky. I watched a handful of videos on these woods, and the whole time I was saying, nope, yep, no reason to go there, nope. At one point I actually yelled at my computer screen because some dude was setting up a tent in a place called the Screaming Woods. What's the matter with that guy? Visitors to the woods report hearing blood-curdling screams coming from deep inside the forest at night, along with footsteps and whispers in the fog on foggy days. The screams are often attributed to a robber who was captured and killed by the villagers in the 18th century. Others believe the hauntings are a result of a 1948 massacre where 20 people were supposedly found dead in the forest the morning of November 1st, like the day after Halloween. Residents reported seeing a strange glow coming from the woods. Autopsies of all the bodies couldn't determine a cause of death. This one kind of freaked me out. I watched too many videos on this one. Kind of scary. And this is the worst part. These woods always seem to be foggy. So it's woods, it's called the Screaming Woods, and it's always foggy. No reason to go here. Especially people getting massacred in there, man. Number 3. Cameron Park, Waco, Texas. Waco's Cameron Park has a handful of spots that are known to be haunted, including a dangerous set of stairs called Jacob's Ladder that's haunted by the Grabbing Ghost. This ghost climbs into your clothes and pulls them down. I guess this is a perverted ghost. Pantsing people in the middle of the park. That's weird. I wonder if that's like an excuse for some dude that got a, he's like flashing people or something like that. The police arrest him and he pulls out the, oh no, some ghost did it to me, and it just grew from there. Who knows? Anyway, the most well-known site is the Witch's Castle, a name given to a crumbling set of ruins found deep in the park. According to one of the many stories surrounding the castle, the ruins are the former house of a woman suspected of witchcraft in the 1800s. Waco residents blame the woman after people began disappearing in the surrounding woods, so they formed a mob and burned the house down while she was still inside. Some people claim to see the witch's figure wandering through Cameron Park today. She's even been known to chase down unlucky visitors. No word if she pulls down your pants when she catches you. I wonder if anyone's ever contacted a real estate agent to buy that house. Some weirdo out there has tried, or at least wanted to. Number 2. The Shiloh National Park in Shiloh, Tennessee. Not too far from the Tennessee-Mississippi border near the Tennessee River is an unincorporated area of the volunteer state called Shiloh. This little patch of land where 2 roads meet isn't anything unusual for this part of the country. They have a gas station, permanently closed businesses, and the remains of what appear to be an old mobile home. Not terribly interesting at all. But head down the road a bit and into the woods. This is the woods of the Battle of Shiloh, which occurred on April 6th and 7th, 1862, during the American Civil War. At the time, this battle had more casualties than the combined casualties of all previous American wars. 40,000 Confederate troops surprised the Federal troops near the Pittsburgh Landing on the Tennessee River. The Union soldiers were able to hold their ground and were reinforced the next day, giving them the advantage over the Confederates. The Confederates were forced to retreat, thus ending the battle in a Union victory. Over the years, there's been many reports of the pond that's on the battlefield changing its color to blood red. It supposedly is the same pond that injured soldiers from both sides came to bathe their wounds. There have been many sightings of ghost soldiers in these woods. Many of the injured soldiers asking for help. People have seen bloodied ghost horses running through the woods, and the sounds of men in extreme pain can be heard in the woods at night. This place is not a place you want to go at night. Go during the day. It's got a nice little visitor center, and it's really neat. But yeah, this is an ugly patch of American land, at least the history. And number 1, the Black Forest, Germany. One of the most fascinating forests this planet has to offer is along the Rhine River in southwestern Germany. It's called the Black Forest, and it looks just like you'd imagine. Densely forested with fir and pine trees that sunlight rarely pierces through. The forest is said to have inspired the brothers Grimm as they wrote Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty, and Hansel and Gretel. If you read the non-Disney versions of those stories, they paint a picture of the forest that you don't want to really share with your kids. Maybe German people do. They do things like that. The forest is dark, thick, and a great place for mythological creatures and buildings like evil wizards, werewolves, haunted castles, witches, dwarfs that travel in packs and hold attractive sleeping women in their homes. You know, scary stuff. And like I said, those are the things the Germans tell their kids about. Adults get stories of abductions, hauntings, gruesome killings, dark magics, and stories of homes that never sell, even in a good economy. Like I said, scary stuff. If you want to read something scary about the Black Forest, read The Necromancer. The one published in 1794 by Ludwig Flamberg, I think that's how you pronounce his name. That's a scary book. They had another Necromancer that was like 2010. Find the one from 1794. It's scary. The Black Forest is probably one of the scariest places you could find on this planet. Alright, so that is our video today. Scary haunted forests around the world. I hope you guys liked it. I could do probably 2 or 3 other ones. I actually held some off that are really good if we do a second video, so if you're wondering where they are, they might be coming on the second video. If we get enough likes and there's enough interest in this one, I'll knock that one out. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's healthy. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up if you like what we're doing, leave me a comment, tell me what you thought, tell me what you thought was the scariest one. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.